Hey everyone, welcome to Average Joe Preparedness. My name's Rick, and I'm an Average Joe. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. What we talk about here is basic emergency preparedness, and then moving up the scale or spectrum. I'm right about in here usually. This is where I am, somewhere in here, and then we go and we touch base on worst case scenarios and how these things down the line will get you ready for that, because everything has to be built on something. I hope everyone realizes that. And the very first thing, which I'm going to do again, is if you're new to preparedness, if things in the world are bugging you, you got like an itch to scratch and you're like, man, there's something I need to be taken care of, and that's why you're here. The very first thing, ready.gov. Those returning people are going to be like, you show that a lot. Yes, I do. Go to ready.gov, download the checklist. It's a basic emergency preparedness checklist, and you'll find that even someone up here with like a bunker and whatever, homestead, if you go all the way back, you'll find they have this stuff. Yes? Yes. Now, if you've already done that, you're like, all right, what's the next thing? Then I'm going to show you this. Now, I went out and we've gone over this before. I don't know if I'm going to put a little thing there about emergency kits that you put in your car. This first one is like for your house. A lot of people put them in totes. It's something to have where you are. We're not getting into bug out bags or 72-hour bags yet, but basically it's something you have in your house for emergencies. And then the next step, some people would say, is like an emergency kit for your car. Yes? Well, I've gone out and I can't find one put out by like ready.gov or something like that, but there's tons of them out there, and I can't endorse one or another. If you go out and you type in emergency preparedness, vehicle emergency preparedness, you'll get them. And 90%, maybe 95% of them are the same. Again, I already put that thing up there, hopefully. We went over that, and it was like a test, remember? I went over all these checklists. I think I had like 2 or 3 to see how my vehicle kit was. Yes? Yes. Now, a couple things, housekeeping, I guess we'll call it. If you're new here, you're not going to get the joke. This is the first time you've seen the video. But I filmed an entire video, and I had to delete the whole thing because I thought it was funny. I get comments sometimes, some of the funny comments, and I have idiosyncrasies, and my light just went out. Man, hey, do you guys remember that happened once before? I should charge it. I didn't charge it because I shot a whole nother video. Did I just mention that? So yeah, so I shot a whole nother video trying to take away my idiosyncrasies on how I film these, and couldn't do it. I mean, I shot the whole video, but it was unnatural. It was awkward. I was like, you know what? I'm not doing this. This is like my vlog, I guess is what they call it. This is my thing to try to get information out, and I'm going to do it my way, yes, my way. And it's not personal, guys. It's just when I tried not being me, it just didn't work. Yes? Yes. And then the next, if you're wondering why, because I've been doing this for years, why I start at the bottom and I work up and I touch base mostly here, and then we go into here, and then we touch base on that, is there are bigger YouTube content creators out there, and they no longer focus down here. It's a natural progression. You grow. It's what you do. And like there's a huge content creator out there, and he does, hold on a second, daily doom and gloom. If you guys know who I'm talking about. And he mentioned he does, I think he calls them blue stripes, the thumbnails, and it's got like a blue thing, and it's basic preparedness. And he admits he does them like once a week or once every 2 weeks. He continues to do it, but they get low views compared to his doom and gloom, big, huge, worst case scenario stuff. He's like, I mean, I'll do it, but no one watches the videos relatively. Now for him, the views he gets on those is really low. For me, it would be big, but so yeah, he's a huge content creator, and he really doesn't do it too much. I mean, he does it, but no one watches him. And there's another content creator, and he said it was a little rough when he was talking about it. He was like, basic preparedness. He's like, yeah, I don't do it anymore. And if you don't like it, too bad. You can go back and look at my old videos. He puts them in like playlists. He was like, you can go look at beginning preparedness playlists. I'm not doing them anymore. And because he's up here. And I can kind of understand it. I mean, eventually, once you get up there, why would you? I mean, maybe. But I'm going to almost always try. Like I said, I'm like right about here. But I'm almost always going to try with this because, once again, in my mind, you can't build on nothing. You have to have something. Yes? And I think getting started with something, that's the hardest part is, okay, I want to get started. Where do I get started at? This checklist is an excellent example. Yes? Yes. First you start with your home, then you start with your car. Those are the two places most people are going to be in besides work and school, I guess. Yes? Yes. After that, I think the next one would be on the scale, and you can correct me if they think I'm wrong, it would be like a get home bag, and we've done a video on that. Yes, I think we've done one or two on get home bags. But let's say you're moving past that and you want to get right about here, more not so much emergency preparedness, but preparedness. Well, I have a recommendation for you. It's just a recommendation, guys. I don't tell people what to do. Have you guys see this? I have like a library back here. I have a bunch of books because I'm a believer in hard copies. Don't get me wrong. I've mentioned in the videos where I'm not going to put nothing there, guys. The stuff I do around the house when I fix stuff is I go to, what is it, YouTube University, and it makes sure I know what I'm doing. I'm watching the videos on the iPads and stuff. But long-term paper, you got to have it in, you got to have hard copies. My opinion, guys. If you want to disagree, that's up to you. I know a lot of people that they get the hard drives and then they EMP shield and all this, but yeah, I'm an advocate of books. Yes? Yes. But for those of you that are like, okay, right about in here, give me something, right, for preparedness, not emergency preparedness, we went through those checklists, then one example, I'm going to give you an example. There's more, but I'm just going to highlight this one, and hopefully I don't get in trouble because it's not my book. But it is Countdown to Preparedness, The Prepper's 52-Week Course to Total Disaster Readiness by Jim Cobb. I had to make sure I got that whole quote up. So no affiliate link, no nothing. It's just a book I'd gotten a couple years ago. I think you can get it on Amazon. I'm not going to put nothing down there, guys. Sorry, you're going to have to Google it. But what I found interesting about this book, and you got to change it up a little bit, is each chapter, he talks about a certain level of preparedness. And then at the end, there's literally a checklist. I'm going to open it up to a checklist here in just a second, unless I can hit it real fast. We'll see. There you go. And he actually calls them assignments. See? Can you read that? Assignments. Now, these are done weekly. Now, in today's society, we're probably going to have to change that up. And the reason I say that is because these are more like what's commonly referred to now as like payday preps. Yes? And I don't know a lot of people that get paid weekly anymore. I could be wrong, but that's just not what I hear. It's either bi-weekly or monthly, or usually it's every 2 weeks. But basically, at the end of each chapter, you have, and there's 52, because this is the whole point in 1 year to get into preparedness, is you have an assignment to get things and to do things. And a lot of the stuff is, there are some purchases, some small purchases, but I would correlate that. I would put it in with payday preps. Yes? Yes. So let me go to one that's good and it has a thing. I'm going to show you as an example. Okay, so I have it here. I'm going to go over it. If you guys want, you can, where is it? Right here. There's that little thing that looks like the tools or settings or whatever. And you could like speed it up so that way I talk a little faster if this is going to bore you. But this is week 1. Again, it's busted into 52 weeks. I think it should be, I recommend that you change it to whenever you get paid, like so that these would be payday preps. Yes? So we're going to go down the first week really quickly. Hopefully. We'll see how that goes. Yes, readers, I know. So you have tasks. The first one is to make a master list. That is like the hardest thing to do. You have to make a list, because if you don't know what you don't have or you do have, then you don't know what you need to get. You with me on that? And then savings. It's $20 a week on this, but you could do it to $20 a payday, or you could do it to $40 if you get a pay. That's up to you. It's to each individual how they do it. And you actually keep a total of how much money you're saving, because you're going to need that money later on. Yes? Yes. And this translates to real life. I've mentioned to you guys that I have an account that I have money going to, that I don't pay attention. It's not a lot of money. And then it builds up. And when I need to get something for preparedness, then that's the account I go to. Just a little bit of money just goes there. It stacks up and I use it. Okay, water storage. It's always going to be a thing. And it talks about how much. And then a grocery list. And this is what I'm talking about, payday preps. For this first week or your first payday. And a lot of people here where they're like, well, you just buy a little extra. You just buy a little extra. This actually gives you a list of things to buy and why. In the chapter, he talks about why you're doing what's at the next week's assignment. So you have a chapter and it talks about it and explains it, and it's logical. But we'll do it real fast before I run out of time. 3 cans of veggies, your choice, 2 cans of fruit. Make sure they're packed in water or juice rather than syrup. There's a reason for it. He explains 2 cans of meat, i.e. tuna, chicken, or beef, 2 cans of soup, not condensed because they require water, 1 can of oatmeal, canister, of oatmeal, or 1 box of flavored instant oats, and 1 treat such as a bag of chips or some hard candy. Now, those things are added to your normal shopping, and they should be things, always get things that you eat. These are extras. Like when it says veggies, don't buy some veggie. You're like, oh, I don't know what this is, but I'm just going to go buy it. Don't do that. If you eat green beans or corn or whatever it is, it's just extra. That's what it is. And I would recommend trying to get, when you do your list, initially when it says a list of coming up with stuff, is you might want to start organizing. It makes things a whole lot easier. And I'm just going to see if I can get to the next chapter. Yeah, live right here. See? And this is, oh, I skipped a week 3. But once again, you'll find it's basically the same thing. However, it talks about different stuff. It builds up to like first aid, and you're supposed to go through and make a list on the first aid stuff that you need. And then it talks about buying extra things. So I'm just throwing it out there, guys. Not an emergency preparedness list, not one for your car, not like a get home bag. This is into preparedness, although it says total disaster readiness, this would be something along the next step. Yes? Yes. Now, let me be perfectly clear. This book is just an example. It might not work for you. You may look and find other ones that do. I'm not sure if you Google like basic preparedness. I'm sure a bunch of books come up. But it's something. What it is it's a tool. It's a tool to move yourself to the next level. That it's written down, it's there, it's trackable, because things that are tracked get paid attention to. You with me? Something I learned in my last job. So yeah, and again, I get nothing from it. I get nothing from any of these books. Look at all the books I got there. And I need more. So it's just to move you or give you ideas. And that's everything I do here, is to give you guys ideas to move from here to here to here. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Now I'm going under the premise there's going to be more individuals coming, looking for information about emergency preparedness. If nothing else, what's the big things that are happening in the world, like that military conflict in Eastern Europe, and the train, and then there's fires, and there's this and that, oh my. But I would like to think that another thing is critical mass. Just living your life, even if I didn't know, even if there wasn't that conflict, even if there wasn't trains derailing, and even if there wasn't fire and brimstone and the things rising, is all I need to do is look through the news. If you look through the news yes, I go through like news headlines. I don't need to read them. And I could pick up on what's going on, and I can go through Twitter and stuff, all this stuff. I don't click on nothing. I just go through it real fast. And it gives you a sampling. It gives me a sampling, I should say. It gives me a sampling of what people are doing, what they're thinking, and what they think is important. So critical mass, that's what I mentioned, is we are there, in my opinion. And I say that because, let me see, one of the things was somebody didn't get a biscuit in the drive-through, so they took their car and they ran it into the restaurant, the fast food place. Yes? Yes. What the holy hell? That makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. But yet someone did it. Someone thought it was the right thing to do. They were an adult. If I'm not mistaken, they raised children. They voted. They drive a car down the road. They could be on the freeway next to you. You with me? And that is just one little story. You could just go through, and people are just going insane, and it's accepted. And that's a problem, in my opinion. There are certain people that think, oh yeah, all this is accepted. And yeah, no, it's a bad idea, because they don't look at secondary, tertiary. And secondary, tertiary is that when too many things get accepted, then everything gets accepted. Yes, and there's unpleasant results. Now understand, we're not new at this. This isn't our thing. This has been going on. This is human nature. It's been going on for millennia, where things will go up and then things will go down, and then things will go up and things will go down, and the most common phrase people know is, what is it? Hard times create hard people create good times create soft people. Yes, and soft people create bad times, or something like that. I'm sure I'm paraphrasing. But if you look through history, that is the way. Yes, and we got things good right now. Yes, we do. And because of that, these are really, people might say, well, these aren't good times because of X, Y, and Z. If you go back just a couple, these are good times. Even if you look at it today, These are really good times compared to how they have been. And I'm talking about in my lifetime, let alone going back further than that. So critical mass. People are separating. I don't know if you noticed that, where everything is, you're evil and this is unacceptable. God, 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 God. Critical mass. It doesn't calm down. It only gets worse. So yeah, if that's one of the reasons why you're here, or if you've been here before and that's a like a reminder or whatever, I got good news for you. And the good news is you have time. And the reason I say that is because today the world ain't ended. It isn't the worst case scenario. Something bad hasn't happened, which means you got at least one more day, and you take it one step at a time. Yes? And work your way up. Be positive about it, because there's nothing you can do. You can't change the world. You can't change human nature. All you can do is control your little circles as they go out, and have fun in your house with your family or your friends. And you see what I'm saying? And enjoy life. And try not to worry, and try not to give in to the fear and this stuff, because I've said it before and I'll say it again. Emergency preparedness or preparedness along any lines, the whole reason for it is for you not to be afraid. It's for you to be at ease. In case something happens, you have taken steps to mitigate it. Yes? Yes. Okay, and this is usually where I talk about what I'm doing around here. Because you guys are on my journey with me. Yes? Because I'm like right here. I'm going to do a video, hopefully, I don't know, next week or two. And we're going to talk about finances. No, Rick, you always talk about finances. I do always talk about finances, because once again, you can't do, without taking care of your finances, you aren't ready for anything. You ain't prepared for nothing. No offense, people, but that is the way. People don't like to talk about it, but it's the way. But that's not what I'm talking about. I mean, we will touch base on that, but I'm talking about getting to like right here. Maybe we're actually gonna talk about stuff that's like over here. Because if you know about, we're gonna talk about like the fiat currency, and maybe a little bit about constitutional currency, which is silver and gold. And then maybe the things people are talking about now, like, you guys know what gold backs are? You guys should Google it. It's pretty cool. But people are worried about finance. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just going to talk about it. Yes, but I'm going to make a video. Okay? Yay. All right. Well, I hope you guys, with the light out, I hope this video doesn't drive you people nuts. And yes, I will plug it in and get it charged. The whole thing was, like I said, I shot 2 videos because I tried to change the way I do things. And yeah, it didn't work. Sorry, guys. I tried, though. For you guys that are like, you might want to change some stuff up. Yeah, I tried. It didn't work. So, yeah, I'm going to go. We got more weather coming through. I don't know if you guys are looking at the maps. There's more weather. It just keeps on coming through. So, yeah, ain't getting nothing done outside. Trying to do stuff inside right now. I am going to go, and I'm going to go bake me a loaf of bread. Yes, does that surprise anyone? Not if you've been here for a while. But in the meantime, I hope this finds you happy. I hope you are staying positive, and I hope wherever you are on your journey and whatever you are being ready for, I hope you are being prepared.